What's going on, everybody? It's Matt from Flat Fender RC Crawlers. I just want to take a quick minute and talk about tools. You know, when I first got started, well, about 10-12 years ago, I had a simple set of tools. I bought cheap tools. I didn't really know what I was looking for. I asked around, tried to form my own opinions based off of what other people were telling me, but like anyone else, I had to figure it out on my own. What I have found is that there are great tools and there are terrible tools. There are cheap tools and there are expensive tools. There are cheap tools that work great. There are expensive tools that don't work well. There are cheap tools that work just as well as the expensive tools. So let's just get into it. Right here, I've got a cheap driver set that I bought at Harbor Freight Tools. This is one thing that I started with. This is actually the third set of this that I bought over the last 10 years or so. And when I first started, these are what I used. Now, they work well for things that are not super tight. These are kind of a cheaper metal, so they don't last well. But what I do like is this long, flexible shaft. You can get into places with that your hands might not fit. So over the years, I've gone through a bunch of these heads, rounded them out, stripped them, didn't like them, but I keep this around just for those hard to reach screws. Sometimes you just need that. From that Harbor Freight kit, I got a couple years out of that. I found somebody out on a trail once and we had a breakage. Somebody had a breakage. I don't remember who it was or what it was anymore. And someone pulled this factory team multi-tool set, well, I shouldn't say multi-tool set, multi-driver set out of their backpack. And we used this to make a trail repair. It was better than what I had, and I really liked how compact it was. I asked where they got it, came home, ordered that immediately. Used these for a couple years. Went through a couple sets. Again, the tips, they do get used. Oops. And, you know, they wear down. So they work, but you got to replace them every couple years if you use them a lot. This was my primary tool set, so they got used a lot. From there, I did a little research and bought this set of MIP drivers probably 3 years ago. I use these every single day. I have been very happy with them. They have lasted very, very well. The tips, I don't know, it's hard for you to see there, but the tips look great. After many years of use, many builds, I probably have built 25 trucks with these over the last few years, and they still work great. They're easily recognizable for size. They look good in a drawer. They work very, very well. I also have to have my little Lion screwdriver. This thing is a lifesaver. There are many different ones out there. You can buy every brand on the planet. You can buy expensive, you can buy cheap. It doesn't matter. They all work just as good. This is a Bauer. I bought this at Harbor Freight. It was less than $20. I'm guessing, I don't remember, but I'm thinking it was probably around 10 bucks. I use this thing so much. This is a lifesaver. I absolutely love it. So when I got this, I got the speed driver set, the MIP matching speed driver set, because I liked my MIP tools so well. I went with the MIP set. I am very, very happy with the MIP tool set. They work so well. They are kind of in the middle price-wise. They're a little more expensive. They're definitely more expensive than this compact set. But the quality is better. They last longer. This is my experience. You know, the tips last longer. They hold up better. They seem to be a higher grade metal, and they just work. I recently needed to get a set of standard drivers rather than metric for my low Cs. So I went with this new set, ProTech. I wanted to try them out. The MIPs were out of stock, and I wanted something that was a different shape and color to contrast so I could quickly reach for my metric or my standard drivers. So I bought these ProTech, and I've only had these for about a month. I have not done a complete build on them, but I can tell you right now, these are really nice. I really like the light handle. There's a lot of grip. The tips are wonderful. They're just absolutely great. Very, very straight, very precise, very nice tips. I hope to get a lot of years of use out of these. I feel pretty confident that they're going to work long term, as well as my MIP shafts have. So ProTech RC, they had metric and standard. Really like this set as well. One thing I didn't talk about here, I bought these from Locked Up RC many years ago to go in this driver. This is a 5mm and a 7mm socket driver, not driver, whatever you want to call it. I use this thing all the time. I don't keep these in here in the back when I'm storing it in my drawer. I keep this in a little spot in my tool drawer, but I use this all the time. I keep it like this. It's nice having it lighter without those in there. So, and then 5.5mm wrench. I went to Lowe's and bought a small miniature wrench set. It was like 10 bucks, but I needed a solid 5.5mm wrench that worked and worked well, because some of the kits come with these little tees. All right, everybody's seen one of these, but these don't always work because you can't get it in where you need to. So I bought myself a $20 small little miniature Cobalt brand wrench set from Target, or not Target, I'm sorry, from Lowe's, and that's been a lifesaver. So my point is, what's going to get you started if you really want to start taking on some builds? You need a solid driver set for sure, something with high quality tips. Speed drivers and a little drill really come in handy and save a lot of time. Are they necessary? No, but you absolutely need a quality driver set. ProTech, I love them. My MIPs, I love them. You need a solid 5.5mm wrench. You need a nut driver. Definitely need a 7mm to pull off tires and wheels. Having a 5mm also comes in handy. That's what you really absolutely have to get started. Now, are there other tools? Absolutely. We'll talk about those another day. Thank you very much. You guys have a great night. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.